Hey gorgeous, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm talking about 5 weight loss mistakes you might be making and how to succeed in weight loss. Now, weight loss is something I don't tend to talk about because I want to talk about body positivity, but I do see time and time again so many people making these mistakes, and I want to clear it up. I want you to succeed on your weight loss journey. So the first one is to not go on these crazy extreme diets. I see them all around, these huge promises like cabbage soup diet where you can lose tons and tons of pounds and kgs in a really short amount of time. And I know that sounds so appealing because you really might want to slim down for a particular wedding or a date you've got coming up in your diary, but these are not long-term weight loss goals, because what's going to happen is you might shed that weight, but you're going to immediately put it back on again because you're going to go back to your old eating habits. So don't believe these extreme diets. They're not long term. They don't have your best interest at heart. It's really about starting to eat in a really long term sustainable way that satisfies you, that makes you feel good, and will then give you a more slow but sustainable and long term weight loss. My second tip is to not weigh yourself. Now, I think that's the immediate thing. You're trying to lose weight, you get those scales out, and you have a target weight. But we're all built really differently. Muscle weighs more than fat. So if you're quite a muscly person, you might not necessarily lose a lot of weight. You might be going to the gym at the same time, so you're actually gaining more muscle mass while you're doing it. So try and not focus on the scales, kind of focus on eating well, feeling good, and I promise you, you will lose weight slowly, but sometimes it can be really negative. I know when I had a particular weight that I wanted to get to, I remember at school they used to weigh us. I don't know if anyone else had that at school. I think every term they'd weigh us. Not great in an all-girls school. And I knew that I was a particular weight at the beginning of school, and I was slowly gradually putting on weight because obviously I was getting boobs, I was getting older, your body changes, you often do gain weight as you get older, but I feel like I had that particular number in mind that I knew I had been, and I felt like every time that I was getting a bit bigger, I was further away from that particular number. So I think forget the number that you were in the past, this is the new you now. My third tip is to avoid diet food, low-fat food, anything low-calorie food, anything that has a kind of gimmicky diet tagline on it. On the whole, these foods are low in calories, however they're often very processed. They'll take out the fat, they'll add in a lot of sugar to it because that makes it taste good. You often eat more of it, and you'll end up eating like 3 really low-fat diet yogurts versus 1 pot of like good quality Greek yogurt. Fat doesn't necessarily make you fat. When it's in a natural form, like in yogurt, that's the way you're meant to eat it. And there's some really good fat soluble vitamins that will not get absorbed into your body unless fat is present. They're A, D, E, and K. So it's really important not to be completely low fat. Obviously, let's not eat like all the butter and olive oil in the world. I wish we could do that. But I really think that we should be avoiding these diet products because they often don't satisfy you because they're not whole foods. So skip them and eat fresh whole foods instead. My 4th tip is to not just focus on cardio. I think when we think about weight loss, we just think, oh, you have to run every day. You have to do these awful workouts that feel, punishing to your body. I think that it's good to really mix it up. Don't just focus on cardio, also focus on doing resistance training, weight training. They're really good for increasing your metabolism. So, mix it up. And if you're someone that finds exercise a real pain and you don't feel motivated, then really figure out what exercise you love doing. Maybe it's dancing, maybe it's rock climbing, maybe it's going on walks with your boyfriend and your dog, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter what exercise it is, just as long as you're moving. My final tip is to dig deep. Now, if you're someone that is saying, I eat really well, I exercise every day, and I'm still not losing weight, I'm doing everything you're saying, then maybe there is something more going on. It might be there is an issue with your thyroid, and your thyroid controls your metabolism. So sometimes when you feel like you've done absolutely everything and you're so confused and there's all these different people just yabbering on about different diets, then maybe it's the time to get tested in case you have an issue with your thyroid. So I really recommend, if you feel like you've done absolutely everything, to go see your doctor and get tested. Now, this is the juicy bit, how to succeed. How to succeed in your weight loss journey. The first one is to eat whole foods. Now, I know this can sound a bit boring because you want me to tell you this magic weight loss pill that solves everything, but it doesn't work that way. Eating whole foods means that you have a really nutrient-dense diet. And when I say whole foods, I mean filling your plate with tons of vegetables, fruits, legumes, grains, fish, meat, you know. Obviously we all have different ways of eating, but trying to cook from scratch, eating food that you would like grow in the ground, you know, as much as possible, filling your plate full of vegetables. Now, because these are so nutrient packed, they're going to make you feel satisfied, they're going to stop you craving things and overeating, and on the whole they're going to make you feel good. And I think a huge thing on overeating is nutrient density, and the other thing is sugar. Now, probably everyone says to give up sugar, and I know it's probably boring me saying it again, but it is so important. I know personally for me, the minute I eat some sugar, like a piece of cake, I will eat the entire cake, like absolutely easily, like not a problem for me. I never get those people that are like, eat one slice of cake and then they're just fine. I don't understand those people. I wish I was that person. Sugar is incredibly addictive. So, you know, if you're eating ice cream, you're eating a cake, it will hinder your weight loss goals because it will make you crave more sugar. You'll end up overeating. So as much as possible to reduce it. You can use more natural sugars such as dates and honey, but use them in moderation because they still are sugars. Another tip to succeed in your weight loss goals is to surround yourself with people that really love you and that are going to help you on this journey. Now, I think it's so important to inform your family, your friends, your partner, and be like, I want to do this and I really need your support. You need to surround yourself with people that aren't going to make you go and get ice cream in the evening or order that cheeky takeaway on a Friday night. You need people that are going to be there cooking with you, getting excited about this new fresh food that you're going to do, really supporting on you, instead of maybe, you know, going on a night out, like having pizza or going drinking. Maybe you're going to like a dance class together, you're going on a walk in the park. So every time you're like seeing your friends or doing things, it's all building towards this new life that you're going to live. And honestly, I feel like people will love getting involved in that. We all want to, well, not everyone, but most people want to be healthier and happier and more energized, and doing these things together is great. You know, I know when I started my health journey in Australia, I used to go on walks along the coast with my girlfriends, and it was such a nice way. I feel like when you chat on a walk, you're so much more open. I think it's to do with like, you're not looking in each other's eyes, so you can be really vulnerable and say what's going on in your life, and they can hear you and they're with you and they're right next to you, but it's not as intense as that kind of eye to eye. So I really recommend having like gorgeous, vulnerable moments, you know, as you chat to your friends, and I know that they'll support you on your journey. My next point is to set achievable goals. So I don't want you to say to yourself, I want to look like a Victoria's Secret model next week, because that might not happen. I think it's about saying, you know what, this week I want to walk to the bus every day. This week I want to try a new vegetable every day. This week I want to go for a walk with my friends. So setting small achievable goals instead of these enormous, huge, you know, goals that you're probably never going to get to, because you'd have to literally be on the treadmill every single minute of the day to get there. So I think it's really important to set small and achievable goals for yourself, and they can be daily goals, weekly goals. Now, this is probably the most important tip. It is the question that I get asked time and time again, and I want you to listen up to this point because it is really important. Don't let one bad meal turn into a bad week. Now, what I mean by that is, when you eat pizza, when you have your ice cream, because we all do, I do too, don't let that one particular meal or that one particular snack make you feel like you've undone all the hard work that you did before, because it doesn't work that way. The minute you eat cake, it doesn't end up on your hips, it doesn't end up on your tummy. Often that weight is due to stress, it's due to eating badly for a long time. So please, 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 when you eat something that maybe isn't that nutrient dense, see it as soul food. See it as food that feeds the soul, because sometimes a nice piece of cake or a cookie or a bowl of ice cream or a takeaway pizza is really soul soothing. It's fun, it's enjoyable. As long as you're eating it with happiness, that's great. Because the problem is when you eat it with sadness, so you're stuffing it in your face, you're feeling awful about it, you're bringing negative energy to it. That isn't the right way to do it. If you're going to eat food, do it with enjoyment. And then the next day be like, cool, I have my pizza, I have my soul food fix. And in the morning, I'm going to make a beautiful plate of poached eggs with rye bread, and I'm going to chuck in some tomatoes and spinach and put a bit of miso sauce on it just to mix it up. So please remember, just having one particular meal that wasn't the best for you doesn't mean that you've undone all that hard work you did that week. Just crack on the next day, start eating healthy, smash it out. My final tip is to stress less. Now, stress is one of the most common causes of weight gain. Now, it's quite hard to get rid of all your stress, but it's the way you manage your stress. So write down everything that's stressing you out, and then write bullet points next to them on ways you can deal with it better, or action points that you can take to make this stress feel less in the moment. Because often we're stressing about the past, right? We're thinking shoulda, woulda, coulda, wish I hadn't done that. Or we're thinking about the future. Oh my god, I'm so nervous about this thing happening. What will happen on that day? Oh my god, will I ever buy a house? Will I ever meet a man? Blah, blah, blah. So I think you've got to remember that if the stress isn't immediately in the moment, it's just a thought in your mind. So you're just thinking about things that you can't control because they're in the future, or they've already been and done. So remember that you have the power over your thoughts, and I think that is one of the most empowering things you can know about yourself, is that you control your mind, you control your thoughts. So if you feel like you can master your mind and you can kind of get on top of it, and then you have a few techniques to reduce the stress in the moment, like deep belly breathing, meditation, going for a walk in the fresh air, chatting to a friend, I don't know, going on a run. A lot of people find that really therapeutic. So give these all a go, see what works for you, really focus on reducing your stress, focus on all these points, and hopefully this will help you on your weight loss goal. I really believe that it is about thinking, how do you want to eat in a year's time? So where do you want to be in a year's time? Don't think about 2 weeks. Don't think about 2 days. Think about a year from now. How would you like to look, feel? What would you like to be eating? Who would you like to surround yourself with? And visualize that goal. Think about it. And I promise you, you will get that. In a year's time, you will get there. But you want to do it slow, steady, achievable, long term. And then it will stay like that. And that will be your life forever. Instead of just this constant yo-yoing up and down, you know, on these crazy diets that I just believe they should not be out there. We should get rid of them because they don't work. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.